If you have been following diligently all my videos, then by now you should know what is artificial intelligence and what are the different divisions of artificial intelligence, because that's the basic information which is required before we move into the application part of it. You're right. In today's video, we are going to cover what are the business applications of AI. Not only that, we would also look at some of the areas where you could actually try applying it, and at last we will also see, while everything looks rosy, there are some limitations of application when you apply artificial intelligence. So let's get started. I don't have to tell you that artificial intelligence is the talk of the town these days, and the reason for it is the growing AI market. If I have to talk about the market, it is expected to reach $119 billion industry by 2025, not far away. The second parameter that I wanted to talk about is the growth rate which it has shown. So in last 4 years itself, it has shown a growth rate of almost 270%. Amazing. So looking at the potential of this market, most of them are going to in this direction to apply artificial intelligence in their businesses. Now, before we even talk about how to apply, it is important for us to understand where to apply. There are three areas where you could apply artificial intelligence. The number one is process automation. So this is a very quick win for you. Go back to your organization or your business and check out all the processes and identify the processes which can be automated using artificial intelligence. The second one is in the new product or new services that you could launch using artificial intelligence. Isn't it be amazing if you get an end-to-end code created by the AI system itself without any human intervention? So that's a new service that you could come up with, or maybe a voice assistant which could handle some part of your processes end to end. So these are new services that you could launch for your businesses. The third one is around applications of AI which will change completely the business model itself. And in this case, I want to give you an example of Amazon Go. So Amazon is coming up with this standalone grocery stores which are only managed by cameras and your cell phone. That's the only thing which is required, and you can do an end-to-end shopping, visiting that shop and come back paying it. So it's completely self-serve. That's something being tested by Amazon. The second one is just like Uber. If you can have an autonomous ride share, that would be an amazing, altogether different business model for these ride hailing companies. So these are the areas where you could apply artificial intelligence. Now let's look at some of the interesting applications of artificial intelligence. To top it all, we have IBM Watson. IBM Watson has been dominating the space of healthcare since 2016. One of the interesting example that I could talk about is that it cross-referenced almost 20 million oncology records and also identified leukemia, rare leukemia condition which humanly wouldn't have been possible. The second one, maybe your favorite, is Facebook. So Facebook uses machine learning and deep learning to identify facial features and also for tagging friends. Third one is Twitter. Actually amazed me because it identifies hate speeches, terroristic languages, and it has actually banned 300,000 terrorist linked accounts. Isn't it good for our society? Next is all kinds of virtual assistant, whether it is Siri, Alexa, Cortana, and many more in the space. All are powered by artificial intelligence. Then the complete revolution which is around the autonomous world, which is being powered by location intelligence and artificial intelligence jointly. And I don't have to talk about the companies like Tesla, Mercedes and others which are coming up in this space at a very rapid pace. So there are many more which I won't be able to cover in this particular video. While everything looks rosy, there are some limitations to it. So let's look at that. If I have to sum it up all the limitations, then I'll divide it into 4 buckets. Number 1 is data. I have been telling you that data is the backbone of artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence requires huge amount of data. Not only huge amount, but it requires labeled data, which means if you are ingesting images, then every image needs to be labeled as a cat or a dog or a bird or so on and so forth. Now that's a big challenge. The second issue is around explainability. If it would have been a simple math equation, it would have been quite simpler to explain these AI system, but unfortunately it is being run by the complex AI models which is being deployed, and explaining them it's a big challenge. To give you an example, if a AI system is deployed for loan approval process just to eliminate any kind of fraud, then if this system declines any of the loan, then bank will have a hard time to explain it to its customer why his loan was rejected. Now that's a big challenge again. The last one is around generalization. Generalization, which means the model which has been created for a specific goal cannot be deployed for any other goal or any other purpose. So if there is even a slight change in the goal statement or the expectation for this system, then there has to be alteration in the model as well, and a customization is required there. So it's not a plug and play kind of a scenario in case of AI system. The last one is around bias. So if you give tampered data of history, it will definitely show up in your results of AI system. For example, if historically you have been hiring only men for a specific role in your organization, then the system will throw up almost similar results, and it will scrutinize all the resumes of men as pass in case of recruitment AI system. By the way, this is not a made up story, but actually this goof up had happened in case of Amazon's recruiting engine, and which they had to pull back and kind of change it. So these are the challenges which currently are there with AI systems. So whoever is applying needs to be cognizant of these facts. My piece of advice to you would be that common sense to solve any problem is still not out of fashion, whether you have all these fancy options available. So use your common sense first to solve your problem, and then comes the automation and artificial intelligence. With that, me Sarika Hussain signing off. Have a good day.